In this video, we're going to learn how to connect MySQL, well, C# to MySQL and be able to retrieve some data back. So for most of you, you already have VMware, Windows 10, and Visual Studio installed. And VMware is a way of running a virtual box, you can see the window I have here, of Windows inside of Mac. So if you haven't done that, please follow this tutorial and get that installed. Once you're complete, or if you already have it completed in a previous course, next we need to install MySQL for Visual Studio on that virtual box. So if you follow the link to this page, you do not have to log in. Scroll down to where it says no thanks, just start my download and click run. This will automatically download and then run that software. So just follow the steps. We do want to go ahead, and I already have this installed, but over here you'll probably have complete. Click on that to do a complete install, and then just follow the steps through to the end. There are no other options to be selected, so just go ahead and go through and get that installed. Next, we need to go ahead and make sure MAMP is running. Again, we're going to connect from the VirtualBox to MAMP, which is running on Mac. So essentially, we're connecting outside of this network because this is, again, an entire machine on its own. This is Windows. It's going to go out and it's going to come back in and connect to MAMP. So in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to now get the IP address of the Mac address, sorry, not the Mac address, the Mac. So in order to do that, we have to go into Terminal. Go ahead and click on the little magnifying glass here and type TERMINAL, and you'll get a window like this. I need you to type just one word, IFCONFIG, and hit enter. And down towards almost the last line here, you're going to see where it says INET and an address that looks like this, or similar to. Go ahead and copy that, and for now just paste it over in your instructions. We're going to be using that in just a moment. Okay, so that's it as far as almost done with configuration. Go ahead and let's bring up Visual Studio. And you may have used this in the past to work with C#. You may have used perhaps AppTana or something. They're just IDEs. And for now, we're going to do File, and you know what? Let's go ahead and say let's select a new project. And make sure it is a Visual C and a console app. And we're going to call this one DB1. I'm going to hit OK. And it's giving me an error because I already created it, so I'm going to open it instead. But you should go ahead and it'll take a moment, and it'll go and get created. So I'm going to go in here and just open up that project. There's DB1 for me. And we'll both end up at the same location. A window that looks like this. We should have program.cs. It gives us a starter file and then some information over here on the left. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add what's called a reference, meaning that file we just installed in step 2, we need to incorporate it into this project. That way it's available so we can talk from C over to MySQL. So in References, go ahead and open it up, and you'll have a list that looks like this. Let's right-click and hit Add Reference. And I have recent here. You probably won't. What you'll have is under Assemblies, you'll go to Extensions. And what we're looking for is MySQL. And if I scroll down here, I don't have it over here. So what I need to do, and you'll need to do, is hit Browse. And there's a couple of directories we need to go to. Well, one directory that's pretty nested. It's in Program Files, the x86, Microsoft Visual Studio 14, Common 7, IDE, Private Assemblies. Once you CD to that directory, you need to go ahead and scroll down, and what we're looking for here is that MySQL file. And you'll see right here, the file name is mysql.data.dll. So once you've found that in that directory, give it a click and hit Add. And it will say mysql.dll. Let's just hit OK. And now what that has done you'll see MySQL.data is over here. For this project, we went ahead now and incorporated that MySQL data as part of the project. So now we have the tools we need to talk from C over to MySQL. So we're almost there. The next thing we're going to have to do is just copy the code from our, the files you downloaded from FSO. And from FSO, if we go over here, there's 3 text files, DB1, DB2, and DB3. Let's go ahead and open up DB1. And we need to copy all of this. So I'm going to hit my Command A, that means select all, and then Command C is to copy. Then I go over to Windows here, and make sure you have your mouse over in here and you've clicked. Again, I'm going to hit Command A, and then I'm going to right click and just hit paste. So I've just copied the code from my text file over into Windows. And once you do that, hit the save button, and I'll go through this code with you briefly. We do need to make one more change here. What we'll see is I kept all of the usings, those imports, but I had to add mysql.data.mysql client. Again, that just gives us the ability to connect to SQL. Now, when we connect to SQL, we need to know a few pieces of information. This line is what's called a connection string. There's a few things we need to put here. Stuff like the address, which I have all zeros at the moment, the user ID, which in the previous security video we created DBS admin who could connect from anywhere, and we're going to need this user. Root will not work for this. The password was password. You have an example database. Please change this to your current month and year. And the port is 8889, which matches the port we set up in MySQL. So the only thing I need to change is I need to copy that IP address, which I got from ifconfig, and then I need to go ahead and just paste it right here. But let me go through and explain what we're doing now. This is called a connection string. It has all the information necessary to access MySQL. Now, I'm going to set the connection string called con to null. That just basically means we're creating a new object called con, where it's going to be a type of MySQL connection, and it starts off as null. Here, I'm going to say con is a new MySQL connection, and I pass it CS, which is the connection string. So it's going to go out to the database and do a handshake. It's going to say, hello, I'm a C program. I have this username and password. Are you there? And if we have the connection string right, the database is going to come back and go, yes, I recognize you. Yes, that username and password is correct. Welcome. And it creates a connection. Now, once we have the connection, we have to say open. We pass it, well, I'm going to create a string here, which is select version. Version is just going to return the version of SQL. Next line is where we, let's see here, execute the select statement. So here we're just creating a string, but here is where we're going to say MySQL command is a new SQL command. It's going to run this statement, which is select version, and it's going to do it across the CONN connection, which is the connection we opened up here. This is going to, the next line here, number 25, is just going to convert a portion of that to a string. And then you guys are familiar with console write line, which is just going to put the version to the screen. So after I hit save, go up to debug and hit start without debug. And it should bring up a window here, yep. And it said MySQL version is 5.5.42. This 5.4, 5.42 is what came back when we ran a select statement, when we ran that select. And then I hit done, and we hit enter. Now, this try and catch is, it's called exception handling. And basically what it means is whenever we reach out from our program to another program, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Maybe the other program's not there. Maybe SQL Server's not there. Maybe you shut MAMP off. Maybe your IP address is wrong. all of those things that could go wrong, we usually for stuff like that, we'll put inside a try catch. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Try this piece of code, and should anything go wrong, catch it in this piece of code. And that will just write it out to the screen and say error and tell us the error. And then down here means finally, if the catch doesn't fire, if everything goes without an error, it goes down to here and it closes the connection. And then down at the bottom, I just write done. So this is just an initial step to show we can connect to the database. In the next video, we're going to run 2 other programs and do a little bit more in there. So, thank you.